Hey, good morning guys. Welcome back to the channel. Jared at 3C's Recreation. Very excited. Just got our first 2024 ZForce 950 Sport Gen 2. So keep in mind they kind of use the sport terminology a couple different times. In fact, there is the other 950 Sport over there. It's the bigger chassis. And this is the Gen 2. So it's important that I said Gen 2 behind it, because last year this was a whole new chassis for like the trail machine. So typically you'll find this in the trail and then this sport model. So those are the two options for this body style. And we're excited. We did our 800 trail video for 2024. We got a couple of those in. So that video is done. It's on our channel. If you find these videos helpful, please consider subscribing. We're really close to 10,000 subscribers, which I think is crazy. So thank you guys for supporting us. And that's enough about that. So let's get into this machine for 2024. With CFMoto, you get so many features standard. So we'll start with like my normal stuff here. So we got the roof on top. It's a poly roof. Fit and finish is great on it. It gives you a lot of coverage, and it's important. It's a good piece because other brands are making you buy that, and that's included with the CFMoto. You also get a 3,500 pound winch. You can kind of see it tucked up in there. And this year they're doing the synthetic rope, which is really exciting. You can't be more excited about that. And the power steering here as well. So you can't see much on it, but this is power steering. So keep in mind, if you're shopping other brands and they're giving you like sale prices, make sure that you're getting like a comparable machine, because other brands have LE models and stock models. So it can make a big difference on the price. And currently, even though this is a brand new model, CFMoto is doing some rebates already or really good financing. So it's a great time to be shopping for a CFMoto because they're stepping up. They're giving people great value. This machine currently retails at $15,299, and then there's freight on top of that. We don't charge any other fees at our dealership, so it depends on where you're shopping, what you're going to pay. So what's cool also included with these models is the half doors. So you can see they open nice, a really clean fit and finish. And if we look on this side, you can see how clean it is. You're not going to get any sort of mud up through the bottom. You know, some doors are really cheap in how they fit, but that's not the case with the CFMoto. The fit and finish has been great through there. And the sport door, because this is a 60-inch wide vehicle, is a little bit wider than the trail door. So if you go to a dealership and you sit in a trail machine and you think, oh, well, it's kind of narrow here, this is actually wider, so keep that in mind. You can kind of see how it buckles out a little bit, where the trail machine keeps it a straight door. So I learned that last year. Thought that was pretty cool that they did that. They had more room to work with because they got wider wheels, so they gave it a wider door. Really cool feature. I just turned the key on, and we got LED headlights. Hard to tell because it is a beautiful November day. And if you look at the back, here's our taillight. Again, you can't tell on the footage because it's actually nice out. The sun's coming out this morning. Another cool stock feature with the Sport model, this only comes on the Sport, is the built-in storage bin. So we can open this right up. It's a really cool cover. And don't worry, if you have a trail machine, you can actually add this bin to it. But keep in mind, it comes at a pretty steep price. I can't remember exactly. I think it's like $500-600 for the top. And then this mat on the inside is at least another 100. So if you're going to buy the trail machine and you want to add this, it's probably going to run you about $700 to add this to it. But it's a great feature. Keeps everything dry on the inside, and it is removable. So if you're like, man, I don't want that on there all the time, I think it's like 12 screws. You zap them off, and then you can just take this whole bin right off, and then you have the open cargo storage like we used to. So keep that in mind. It's a really big value added to the Sport machine. These machines come with the remote clickers. You can see in the back there, we can adjust the compression on it for softer or harder. So if you're doing more aggressive, maybe jumps, you can stiffen that right up. If you're just having a family ride, you can soften it up quite a bit. You've got 12 inches of ground clearance. We do have the tow hitch receiver in the back, and it's good for 1,500 pounds. So they do have low range, and we'll show you that now. Let's go in here and we'll show you some controls. So we have park, reverse, neutral, high, and low. And you can't really tell in the footage. There it goes. Now you can see the different levels there, or what gear we're in. We're in park currently. And the biggest news for 2024 is the e-brake. We are so excited to have the e-brake back. We did miss that on the 23 models, especially if you're parking on a hill. You really want to use your e-brake. You don't want to rest the machine against the park gear and the transmission. It is hard to get out of park. So if you're on a hill, put your foot on the brake, pull up on the e-brake first before you put it in park. So that's going to help out a lot. It's included again for 2024. So I've had a lot of phone calls on that, and there it is. It's a great position for it, right in the middle. And we can kind of go over the rest of the controls here. The seating position can get changed pretty easily on these. So we can take the steering wheel all the way up, or we can tilt it all the way down. If I pull up on this lever, I tilt it down so you can see how low I just lowered that. And I currently have the seat all the way back because I am 6'4", and here's our lever for that. It's sticky when it's new, so it's hard for me to adjust it, but it does adjust forward considerably. We have the high beam and low beam for the lights, so the lights are always going to be on. And on this side, we have normal mode and sport mode. And then we have 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive diff lock. I can turn the key on and we'll show you the difference between normal and sport mode, and we'll drive it here in a minute as well. So you can see up here we're in normal mode currently. We're in 2-wheel drive, we're in park. The engine and the oil light will be on until the machine is running. This one's got 1.5 miles on it, 0 miles per hour, full tank of fuel. The button on the right here, this is going to control our screen brightness. Now you can kind of see it in the video here. There's 5 different levels. There's dark, we'll go bright with it. And then on this side, there's our, let's see, hour meter, volts, LED brightness is 4, fuel 3, back to 0. So total miles is 2, trip meter is 1.5. So most people leave it right on the odometer. And then if I click it into sport mode, you can see the dash. It just showed sport, and then it showed sport temporarily down here. So that's really going to wake the engine up. It's a really cool feature. So if you're loading this machine in your trailer, I would definitely be in normal mode. It's going to be much easier throttle control. But if you're out riding with your friends and you want a little more power, that's when you can flick it down into sport. It's going to wake the machine up quite a bit. The next button we'll really get in depth with here is your 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive switch. So not everybody understands that there's 3 modes here. So currently we're in 2-wheel drive. And if I flick it to the middle position, you might have heard the front diff, or at least I can, not sure if you can hear it in the video, that now shows all 4 tires being lit up. So this is an open front diff, so only one wheel in the front is going to have power. So if we jack this machine up, you could hold on to one of those front wheels, but it's still extremely easy to steer. The power steering is still doing its job. If you need true diff lock mode, we can go down here. Now it's going to have an X lit up. So now all 4 tires are locked together, but it gets extremely hard to steer because all 4 tires want to pull you straight. So if we jacked this up, all 4 tires would rip out of your hand, but it's gonna be much harder to steer. So this mode is not recommended for anything other than like a really bad situation. So if you're stuck in the mud, we would use 4-wheel diff, but do not plow in that. You just want to plow, if you're going to put a plow on it, on regular 4-wheel drive. So keep in mind, 2-wheel drive and regular 4-wheel drive are going to be your main controls. Down here we have our 12-volt outlet right in the middle, nice and easy. And they still do come with the USB outlet. Let's look up in here. Here's our winch controller. It's already plugged in. It's got a 5-foot tether with it. And then if we look in the front here, underneath our controller, it's hard to see, but there's our USB ports. So easy to get to still. And then on this side, this is our storage bin. It is so deep. You can see the toolkit and the funnel in there. So much better storage on this Gen 2. It's such a deep storage bin, and it's very easy to get to. This is our grab handle for the passenger. They did a pretty cool adjustment on this. Before it was a bolt with a nut on it, and to adjust it, now it's a simple latch. You push down on it, and now we can adjust this on the fly rather than having tools with us to adjust it. So nice grab handle for the passenger here. If we walk around the back of the machine here, we'll show you where the fuel goes in. So this is our gas fill on this side, easy to get to. You can bring your gas can in, or if you're at the gas pump, easy to get to this. You don't have to have the door open. There are a lot of accessories available for the ZForce model. So you can do Nerf bars, rear bumper, front bumpers, windows, doors. They've done such a good job with their accessory catalog for this next model. So the next thing we'll talk about is service. I'll take the passenger seat. I'm just going to slide it forward a little bit. Keep it right there. And so here's going to be our air box. And it's like 30 degrees outside today, so everything is a little bit stiffer than I want it to be. I'm not sure where the gimbal was just going. Our air filter is behind this cover. It's got the 3 clips. You can tip it down and get to it easy. And make sure our tabs are back in where they should be. And sorry about the gimbal, I'm not sure why it's going straight on us. So that pushes back in. And then this is an access panel, and I won't take it completely out, but if you pull these 3 tabs, you can now get to the whole front of the motor by rocking this panel out. It is so important for doing service. So if you're looking at a Gen 1 or Gen 2, it's a pretty big difference. And I'll take this seat off as well. And behind the driver's seat, this is our ECU. So behind here is our control panel and where the dealer is going to plug in if they're trying to troubleshoot the machine. And you can see how convenient the battery is to get to. It is so easy down there behind the driver. So I really enjoy that because it's going to stay cleaner, drier, and easy to get to for service. So they did a great job thinking about the battery. All right, so we got the seats clicked back in, and now we'll go for a quick ride in this thing. So if I turn the key on here, it's cold out, so be patient with the machine. I gotta let it warm up for a quick second. What's cool with these sport models is you can't tell during the day, but there's a really cool LED that lights up on the dash here, which I think is awesome. Anytime the machine's on, that's gonna light up. And I just turned the parking brake off, and while we're waiting for it to warm up, one thing we'll do is, without the seatbelt plugged in, I think it's gonna limit how fast we go. So let's try this. So we're in high range, no seatbelt. Okay, I'm wide open on the floor down there. My foot's to the floor, and we're going 9, 10. So it's going to limit you to 10 miles an hour without the seatbelt in high. Let's try a low range. Even slower. So we're at 6. So 6 mile an hour. And then let's try reverse with no seatbelt. 6. So you can hear it hitting that rev limiter. So just, if you guys buy one of these at home, I actually sold 2 of them last year, and people were like, oh my gosh, the machine's not good. Sorry, I'm rubbing the seatbelt across the microphone here on my shirt. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, like, oh my gosh, the machine, something wrong with it. I'm like, no, nothing wrong with it. We just got to plug your seatbelt in. So seatbelt's now on. We're in high range, and let's go to normal mode first. So we'll kind of give you a feel for like the acceleration or the jerkiness. So this is so easy to control. I've got a ton of pressure on the pedal, and I think that's really important. So if you're trying to load this or drive in your garage with it, you don't want it to jump or lurch forward. So I can easily take off with this machine and move that around. So that is normal mode on the takeoff. And if we keep your eye on the display here, hard to see because the glare, I turned around. And you can instantly feel the difference in acceleration. So we're trying to load this up on a trailer. It's going to take off. It's going to want to load much quicker. One thing I want to talk about with high range and low range, it is so important to use the right gear at the right time. So high range is for all your like high speed riding. I'll turn this off for a second. So high speed is for high speed riding. If you're like over 15 miles an hour, if you're going to go down the side of the road, ride with the buddies, the trail is faster, flowier, use high range. If you are in slower, more technical riding, anything under 15 miles an hour, you have to use low range. So if you're loading this on a trailer, pulling a trailer, just crawling through the woods, it's a really muddy, you're stuck in the mud, low range is so important to use. And so now we'll put it in low here. And so we'll just go up to 15. It doesn't hurt it, it's comfortable. tell you the first accessory I'd be adding right now is the windshield. It is so cold, it takes your breath away. So right there, we were doing 19 miles an hour in low range. Machine's happy, it's comfortable. It doesn't need to be in high range. I don't want to floor it because they're brand new machines. That's not the right thing to do. So let's just give you guys like a quick turn video. So let's see, here's our, you can see how close our sign is here. Let's just crank the wheel all the way to the left. And we're in high range and sport. And it should leave some scrub marks, so that'll give us an idea of how tight we turned. Wow, it's actually super tight. So if you're on the trail and you're trying to make your way around a tree, let's back up, I'll show it to you. Look how tight that was. That's a really tight circle for a ZForce. So if you're in the woods riding with buddies, you're going to be just fine. You'll be able to navigate all the tight turns like you want to. So let's head back down to the shop. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching our channel. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you're heading to the dealer to check out one of these, hopefully I answered a bunch of your questions before you even get there. Again, I'm Jared from 3C's Recreation. We're a family dealership. We're located right off I-86 in Western New York. Couldn't be any easier to find. So if you're looking for a new CFMoto, family shop, no super center fees, please consider giving us a call. I'd love to work with you. Enjoy the ride. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching our channel. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you're heading to the dealer to check out one of these, hopefully I answered a bunch of your questions before you even get there. Again, I'm Jared from 3C's Recreation. We're a family dealership. We're located right off I-86 in Western New York. Couldn't be any easier to find. So if you're looking for a new CFMoto, family shop, no super center fees, please consider giving us a call. I'd love to work with you. Enjoy the ride.